The Bounty Hunters versus the Bloodlines, and tell the story how when Reno came to Soledad and everything was peaceful until he came. What's your input on that?
My input on that is first of all, I did like 4 5 at Soledad. You know what I'm saying? My first time in the pen, I was at Soledad. And, I think when I walked the main line, it was I could have been the only blood or maybe two bloods in Soledad.
And where you was at?
That was in 1979.
1979.
Yeah.
Can you tell us a little bit about 1979?
Wasn't really nobody banging. BGF was running the yard.
Wait a minute. You said BGF was doing what?
BGF was running the yard.
And how they can run the yard when the Crips is up like 500 deep, or they got BGF outnumbered so massively. So how did the Crip not run the yard and the BGF running the yard? Talk on that.
In the beginning, when I hit the pen in '79, BGF had control of everything. You know, like I said, I probably was the only blood or two bloods on the yard. It was Crips there, but you know.
Can you name some original? You know any original Crips that was there? James Miller was there, was he?
No, James Miller wasn't there yet. Lightbulb was there from I think from Grandy. Russell Capers was there from Harlem.
Yeah.
Who else was there?
Did you know Big Bobby Johnson? Bobby Johnson?
Dirty Red. Dirty Red, he was OG. He was there. I don't really know where he was from. He was light skinned with the green eyes, had a red perm.
I remember him.
But to make a long story short, you know, if it was more bloods there, whatever, all the gangbangers they wasn't doing nothing. They wasn't doing no flagging. They wasn't really doing nothing. BGF was running everything. That's all. You know.
So I want to ask you this question, not to cut you off, because this is a hot subject right here. On between this guy named this bicentennial named Joe Rockhead, who our little homeboy Joe Valentine gave him his name after he beat him down in juvenile hall and camp. They had a little squabble, him and Joe Valentine, over who name was going to be Joe Rockhead, and Joe Valentine beat him up about 3 or 4 times. Oh, this is from Rockhead's story. This is not Joe Valentine's story. So he's confessing, you know what I'm saying? But my whole point of what I'm trying to find out is this. In the time that you've been in level 3, level 4, or any other prison, have you ever heard, have any other blood or 415 or any other Crip ever told you that the Black Gorilla family was sliding Constitution paper under the door to get people hooked up, or do they just how can you answer that question?
I'm gonna keep it 100. I can't speak on that because I don't know nothing about it.
Have you ever heard of that? That the BGF sliding books under doors to get people recruited?
I mean, I'm gonna keep it 100.
Keep it 100.
I heard they was doing that, but I don't have no proof of that.
Oh, you don't have no proof of that, but you did hear they was doing it.
I heard it.
And what year was this going on?
I was in '79 when I hit
79. So they did do it in '79. The rumor was out that they were sliding.
The rumor was out.
Okay, well, see.
So, but
I
don't know for a fact, but like I said, the rumor was out.
Okay, well, I
heard the rumor.
I never heard of blood, or nobody ever said that.
Yeah.
I never experienced that. And the reason why I say that is it, because I know the oath by heart, and I know what it takes, you know what I'm saying, to be a BGF. And the only thing they can't, if they did slide something, it wasn't the oath. It wasn't to initiate you, right. You know what I'm saying, because if they do that, they going to get disciplined, because they don't say, welcome to the Jama family, or welcome to the Black Gorilla family. That right there is bunk. That's just like me telling you to say the Constitution of the United States of America, and you start singing jingle bells. That don't make no sense. So welcome to the Jama family don't make no sense when it comes to initiation of the oath. And that's the reason why I fight that, because he don't know what he's talking about when he say welcome to Jama family. That is not how you get put on. Number one. So whoever did that and gave him a note saying welcome to Jama family, they were just greeting him. That's a greeting. That's all that is. That is not no oath to try to get you hooked up. That is not no Constitution to try to get you plugged in, because you can't get plugged in like that. And one day, before I died, I was singing the whole world the oath song, if on my deathbed. But until then, you know what I'm saying, I look at it as a fabrication only because of what he said. It said on the note, welcome to Jama family. if somebody tell me to say the Lord's Prayer, and I start off talking about Satan this and Satan that, that's not the Lord's Prayer. That's Satan's prayer. So if you're going to say the Lord's Prayer to be a Christian, you have to say the Lord's Prayer. So you can't change the Constitution of Jama to fit you. You know what I'm saying? If it just said, welcome to Jama family. They just greeting me. That's a greeting and nothing else. That's all it is.
Hey, that's all it is. You know?
Okay, well, we're going to move on, my brother. I want to ask you the question now about,
Well, I thought you wanted me to talk about Reno.
oh, yes, Reno. Reno and Bounty Hunters versus the Bloodlines, 1985. I got to stick to that.
Okay, what I remember is I came back. I had got out in '83. I came back on a violation, and I noticed it was when I left Soledad. You know, that was headquarters. That was Blood headquarters. We ain't never had no Constitution Blood gang really up there until the Bloodlines all come down from Tracy and start trying to run shit.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
That's my crew. Remember when I came down there?
Yeah, I remember when you came down there.
And what happened when I came down there? Go ahead, do your thing.
But before you get there, you know,
all right.
You know, they was running around. They was trying to separate us. You know what I'm saying? They was recruiting.
And who? What you mean by separating? Like what?
Like before they came, all the Bloods was just blood. We was chilling.
Y'all was united.
When they hit the yard
with the Bloodline and UBN.
Here they come with their Constitution and trying to recruit young homies and put shit in their head.
Yes.
So you see the divide beginning.
Okay.
Bounty Hunters was deep, so we you know what I'm saying, we was doing our thing. We didn't give a fuck about nothing anyway. If it wasn't Bounty Hunter, you know what I'm saying, we wasn't tripping on it.
Well, I want to ask you this question. Why, when I hit the line, that all the Bloods was complaining that the Bounty Hunters was acting like Super Bloods because they was like 15 deep and everybody else probably had no more than 3 or 4, 5 homies all together from their own hood. And so when I hit the line, they was crying to me about, bro, your homeboys is set tripping. What do you have to say about that?
You know what I'm saying, to me, the type of blood I am, you know what I'm saying, set tripping wasn't even a part of my vocabulary or part of my history. I accepted all bloods. I fuck with Power Rules, Black P Stone, all of them, villains. I never, you know what I'm saying, Bounty Hunter or Bust. It wasn't like that on me. You know what I'm saying? But the homies was deep, and if we had a problem, we just dealt with it. That's what, you know what I'm saying? But we had Power Rules, 4, 5, 6s that was right up in there, right up under us, kicking it with us, everything. And so that part, but they was crying and they was doing this, you know. I think that was all, you know, the Bloodline trying to with the divide and split up and shit. Cause we was deep, we was strong, and we was together. You know what I'm saying? So when you came, they was you know, because you was BL. I guess they could. You know what I'm saying? They trying to get to you before your homies got to you.
Okay.
Cause you know what I'm saying? If you can remember, me and you was in the gym, and I asked you point blank. I said, homie, you the homie. Me and you go back. If I get into it, the blood, homie, whose side you gonna take?
And what I say?
You tell me what you said.
I don't know.
You said I got to go with the Bloodline.
Oh, is that right? And, but what happened? What I said? But tell me what happened.
Yeah. Okay. And when you said that, you know what I'm saying, that hurt me.
Okay.
Because you know we come, like I hear people always say we come. I come from the sandbox and woo woo. We go back. You know what I'm saying? From the streets to the penitentiary, we did shit, and then say. So I'm gonna fast forward it now. I said maybe a week or 2. After that, after you gave me your answer, me, my homeboy Michael Pone, my homeboy Bandit, we belted down the center corridor headed towards the east gate. We just trying to stay out the cell. We ain't ready to get locked up yet. You know what I'm saying? So as we mobbing, you know, I've been in the hole and I've been in MCU. So whenever I pass them 2 holes, they got a little bitty square windows you can knock on and see who in there.
Okay.
So I knocked on the whole door, and guess who answered to open the thing up? Reno.
Okay.
He attempted, he's sweeping, he got the room.
Okay, but do you remember when he first hit the line though? And the Swans had his back. They had him walking down the hallway. You just never saw that.
I never seen that.
But you never saw him on the main line.
I never seen him on the main line.
Oh, he was on the main line for like 3 or 4 days.
Okay, I never.
And they dropped the note on him. The Crips dropped the note on him behind that murder happened in Tracy.
Okay.
And that's how he ended up in the hole.
Okay.
When you saw him.
I never seen him on the main line.
Yeah, I saw him. The Swans had his back.
Yeah.
They had him, China and all of them, Puppet. They all rode with him down the hallway. They weren't going to let nobody do nothing to him. But the Crips dropped the note on him. Yeah. And that's how he ended up in the hole. So go ahead and pick up from there.
Okay, so now, when I hit the little door on the hole, see if anybody gonna come to it, lo and behold, it's your boy Reno.
Why you say my boy? Tell it real. Hey, tell the truth. Why is it my boy?
Hey, I said it's your boy because at the time you was BL and the homies wanted you to come home, but you was loyal to them.
Okay, was I loyal to Reno?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now what made that loyalty change? Can you go through that?
I'm finna get to that.
All right.
I'm finna get to that.
Okay.
So Reno come to the little door and he like, "What's up, blood?" I'm like, "What's happening, blood?" And we flamed up. That's how you know we bloods. We flamed up and he asked me, "Do I know Peter Hype from Pyru?" I said, "Y'all know Peter Hype? That's the homie." You know what I'm saying? Soon he said that, my antenna go up already. So, but he don't ask me where I'm from, or he don't ask me my name or nothing. I said, "Where you from?" I asked him where he from. He said, "Oh, I'm from Swan, homie. I'm Reno."
Okay.
So I said, "Oh yeah, I know Peter Hype." I said, "What's up?" He said, "Can you give me this kite for me?" I said, "Okay." Me hearing the stories about Reno and how he manipulate the homies and wooty woo.
Wait a minute. You said manipulate. What you mean manipulate? Whoa.
Sending homies on missions.
Whoa.
He doing his bidding and while he kicked back in his cell with all the weed, fat canteen, and just keeping up ruckus between the homies and shit. Not never really real togetherness.
So are you saying he was a troublemaker?
Pretty much.
Pretty much.
Undercover troublemaker.
Now how did we end up fighting the Bloodlines during that time? What happened in your eyes?
He give me the kite. So, I ain't in no hurry to give it to Peter Hype. So we keep pushing towards the east gate. But on my way to the east gate, I bust the kite open.
Okay.
When I bust the kite, first thing I see is frog. Exclamation point.
Yeah.
Frog. So I read the kite. Make a long story short, he wants to be able to get at you. Because you out here tripping. Because your homies is deep.
Yeah, we deep.
So
we like the Hoovers.
So I say, well, I'm going to get a kite to Peter Hype, but I'm going to let Frog intercept it and pass it off to him and see where it go from there.
Okay.
That's when I give you the kite in the gym and tell you.
Inside the kitchen.
Oh, okay, we're in the kitchen.
Yeah.
I give you the kite and tell you this for Peter Hype, homie, but it's about you. So I'm going to let you deliver it to him, and we're going to see where it go from there.
Okay.
So that's when I put the ball in your court. You know what I'm saying?
So you want me to finish with that?
Well, you could kind of elaborate how you could
I elaborate. Oh, so you don't want to talk about the squabbling?
I'm going to get to that, but this is before that. This is before that.
Well, I'm going to let them know what the kike say when I give my interview.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Because I'm gonna recover what you. I'm gonna go over what you doing. I got my side and you got your side.
I got you. Okay. So I give my homie the kite. He know what's up, what he up against. Peter Hype in the blind still, as far as I'm concerned. So I don't know if it was later on that night.
But wait. Let's go back. Let me correct you though. Do you remember we being in the kitchen? You gave me the kite. I took the kite to Hype table and threw it at him and said, "Come on with it." And Gangster and him stand up. Then Capone stand up. Everybody stand up in the kitchen. And I told Capone, "Bag up. This is my business."
I do remember that.
And I said, "Capone, if you're gonna do something on your own time."
Yeah.
And then y'all came later on. A month later.
I do remember that.
Okay, so I let y'all know that was my business, right?
Right.
You remember that?
Yeah.
Okay, and Peter Hype ended up rolling it up maybe 2 days later, and about a month later, tell him what happened when you and Capone came. But what did I tell y'all? Did I tell y'all don't do nothing on my behalf?
You told us to bag up.
Thank you.
I got this. Y'all chill out. I can handle mine.
And what happened a month later?
So it had been festering. Some shit had been festering against the with Gangster from Ludus Park,
Fruit Town,
and my homeboy Michael Pong. So I guess
I came in F wing.
We was in first we was in the chow hall chilling. After we ate our dinner and everything, we didn't go back to the wing with everybody else. We stayed in the kitchen with the workers and shit. And then we mobbed out the kitchen, me, Bandit, and Capone. We all three, for some reason, we said, homie, let's go to F wing and see what's up with the homie Frog. Because we knew shit was going on, but we was watching from a distance, so we didn't really, you know what I'm saying, know what was going down. But Capone still wanted to get at D. It was eating him up.
Get that gangster.
Gangster. He wanted to get at gangster. It was eating him up.
Yeah.
So,
Capone from Bounty Hunter, 111th Street.
Capone from Bounty Hunter, 11th Street. My little homie.
Yeah.
My little big homie.
Big homie.
Yeah, my little
big little homie.
Yeah.
Because he was a beast.
We mobbed into the F wing, and for some reason, Bandit like, hey, big homie, man, I'm going in the wing. I'm going to pull. I'm going to F wing. We say, cool, homie, because we didn't have no intentions on going down and causing no trouble. We just going to see what's up with the homie. I used to be in F wing, so I had a little juice with the.
Wait a minute, I got to keep it real with you now. So you telling me Capone didn't come down there to knock gangster out?
Not soon. Not when we was on the way down there. We was coming down there, Mr. Chew.
Okay.
Once the popo let me in the wing, I told him we wasn't gonna start no shit.
Okay.
Soon he seen gangster. Something just went off in his head. So that's what I asked.
So what did I say?
So we asked. So when I already seen what Capone wanted to do, first thing I said, homie, they got any knives?
And what I say?
And you said no.
I said no.
So once the homie told us no, it's two of us. Counting Frog. I don't know what the homie gonna do because he already told him what he gonna do if we get into it with him. So we walking towards the back and Gangster and Pete and Papa T, and somebody playing domino.
And D from 20s.
D from 20s.
4 against 3.
And we walking towards them. They don't even see us. But as soon as we get within arm's distance, Capone found D, knock him out.
He
found Gangster.
Gangster.
He found Gangster. Well, I told y'all, when this incident happened, I was in my early 20s. I'm 64 now, so the memory come and go.
Yes.
But he fired on Gangster from Fruittown. Soon Gangster hit the floor. A knife fall out of his pocket. And out of clear blue, all of them pull out their knives, and it's on and cracking. You know what I'm saying?
Billy
Gangster Pete.
Rush Capone.
Try to rush Capone. And I'm taking all this in. He tried to rush Capone, but Capone got them big long arms and them big old fists. So he can't move on him too quick, but he's swinging. And
I tried to come around the side and he came at me.
Yeah. Frog tried to make a long story short, I can't remember detail for detail.
I tell him though.
We put hands on him.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
All the way to win. How long did it? What did it take for that fight to break up? For you to stop whooping on D from Outlaw? What happened? Who wrestled you down?
I can't remember.
The police came.
Yeah.
You went to the hole.
Yeah, I went to the hole.
I got away.
Yeah, Capone went to the hole. Yeah. Frog got away.
Yeah.
But, you know what I'm saying, it was a pimple that had to be busted. Because, you know, and after that, the homie came home. You know what I'm saying? Body on the Frog was back.
Well, I had to be Body on the Frog because one reason, my brother. Hey. Because I realized who was my real comrades.
Oh, yeah.
Your real comrades going to have your back in them days if you're right or wrong, and then they'll discipline you if they feel you need to be disciplined. But they ain't going to let no outsider discipline you like Schoolboy did Johnny Westbrook.
Yeah.
What do you think about that incident?
And that's what it boiled down to. We weren't going to let nothing happen to the homie. That's why we was in F wing, because we had love for the homie. Because we was original. That's my original homeboy, Bonnie Hunter Frog. You know what I'm saying?
So I want to ask your true opinion. Why do you think Artist Fitzpatrick, a.k.a. Schoolboy, let the Bloodlines or the UBNs hit Johnny Westbrook, a.k.a. Frog number 2? Why do you think that happened? Why you didn't do that to me, but he let that happen to Johnny Westbrook?
This what I'm gonna say on that right there. I can't speak on Schoolboy, why he did that, but if I'd have been in this position, that wouldn't have happened. Straight like that.
Oh, because he didn't want to give them no money or no drugs from his visiting. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So he said, F the BL or FUBN,
Yeah.
and they took off on him.
Yeah.
And Schoolboy allowed it because Schoolboy was the commander of the yard.
Yeah.
So it had to be him that sent them at him.
Yeah, I would have said the same thing. You know what I'm saying? I'm not finna be paying I'm not paying nobody. You know what I'm saying? And like I say, if I would have been there in the position he was, ain't no outsider finna fuck with no bounty hunter. I don't give a fuck what he did. That's how I'm gonna leave that just like that.
Now listen to this though. When Tommy Joe from Swan ran out at the kitchen and Tracy, Reno didn't have him hit. Reno gave him a pass. And that was a life and death situation.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Probably in Johnny Frogs too. That's a life and death situation. But you can see the comradeship between the Swans and the comradeship between me and you as bounty hunter. He loved Tommy Joe to say, well, you love me. You ain't finna let nothing happen to me because I'm your homeboy from day one. Yeah. Same thing with Reno and Tommy Joe. So I can understand that. But I can't understand why Schoolboy would do Johnny Westbrook like that. I can't understand that.
But at the same time, if you remember this incident, homie, it was a homie that I didn't know from the street because he was a young homie. But I came to have bounty hunter love for him when he hit Soledad. But once it came out that he told on the homeboy dating, all that love went out the window.
So you talking about Michael Snells,
Michael Snells,
Malone,
you know
Mike Malone,
and this was bounty hunter business. So we draw straws. And the shortest straw had to deal with Michael Snell because he told on the homie. You know, that's how I was raised.
Yeah, okay.
That's how I was raised.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Whether it's a homie or not. Even on the street before I even hit the pen. I bust a homie on the stand against one of my OG homies. Came straight home and tried to do him. But luckily he got away. You know what I'm saying? I ain't got to mention no name because he ain't no factor. But I learned that from the streets. That's the code I grew up under.
So I can remember at one time, brother, you know, in the 80 generation, used to say bounty hunter, regardless, right or wrong. You know what I'm saying? I used to hear that in the module or something because there's a lot of things going on in the air. And I could think that everything was basically cooking. And what I mean by cooking, because on the streets, the bounty hunters and the Swans was at war with each other. There was a whole lot going on in the county jail. So people had a lot of grudges. And sacrifice won't be made if they feel, just like me, why should I be a bloodline if they not real bloodlines? And what I mean by real bloodline, if a coward run out or he snitch, if he's your homeboy, he's not your homeboy. He's supposed to be disciplined. We ain't talking about killing him. We talking about disciplining him, right? So it's a totally different thing. As soldiers, you're supposed to be disciplined. Right. They do it in the Army. They do it in the Navy. They do it in every organization that is armed forces. They discipline their soldiers. You cannot be an Army without having discipline. Rules and regulations have to be established. And I have to say this, only because I know both sides. That's what separates the BGF from the Bloods and Crips. If you run out on them, you can't go back and hang out with the homies. You know what I'm saying? If you snitch on them, you can't. They're going to harbor you for years and make you think that you got away with it. Yeah. Like they did Movie Star. Same thing. Yeah, Movie Star for Compton. Yeah. I'll get to that story later, though.
I know Movie
you know what I'm saying? Okay. I bet you do know Movie Star personally.
I live
yeah. He's a BGF comrade also that got disciplined. You know what I'm saying? So discipline have to be issued, brother, if you're going to start an organization. It's not going to work. Even police officers get disciplined. You know what I'm saying? Everybody that has an organization, even gangsters from the El Capone days, they got killed and got disciplined when they violated the law and regulations of the organization. So if you're going to have an organization, you have to follow it through the code or else there's going to be an uprising.
Yeah, it's going to be a problem.
So once that happened in Tracy with Tommy Joe and Reno, my heart wasn't really there no more because I felt that, hey, man, that could happen to me and he'll do me the same way. Yeah. But you see how you and Capone came to my aid? Now that's what I'm talking about, a real comradeship. Yeah. Action speaks louder than words. Do you believe that?
Oh, yeah, most definitely.
Is there anything else?
Like I always say, I can show you better than I can tell you.
Yeah, you say that a lot, brother. You sure say that a lot. Okay, now I want to just move on to one thing, is this. Have you ever heard in your life, in the 80s or the 90s, that Joe Valentine knocked me out? That's funny, ain't it?
That's funny.
Okay. What about Hitman Greg? Have you ever heard that Hitman Greg knocked me out?
Come on, homie.
Now tell me, I want you to answer this. What was I doing to homies in the 80s that I got into fight with compared to the homies in the 70s? What was I doing to the homies?
You was gunning them, homie.
Gunning them.
You a gunner. You a gunner. You wasn't doing no. I mean, you was putting hands on motherfuckers too, but in the 80s, you was popping them. You know what I'm saying?
Was they the little homies from the second generation? The ones out, huh?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I say, so now they got an interview coming out saying that they all beat me up and chased me off the yard. The bounty hunters chased me off the yard. Have you ever heard the bounty hunters chasing me off the yard, Rick?
No.
Anytime in history?
I never heard that. It's always gonna be fabrication with these dudes.
Because he's a smoker. He smoked crack in the 80s.
I know.
Yeah, he got shot in the butt by Mickey Boy. Mickey Boy shot him in the butt in the dope house, and he kept the dope and said, Mickey Boy, since you shot me in my butt, I'm going to keep the dope, and walked out the spot. These are the type of people that BJ go get to interview against me? Yeah. Crackheads that get shot in the butt for smoking? Come on, homie. I'm a real one. Why is he going to go get, and he going to get a guy that got HIV for messing with a homosexual in prison? Schoolboy? Come on, man. You infected, homie. You gay. I'm a real man. I mess with women only. I don't mess with men. I got 25 years in this. Yeah. I ain't never stuck my wee in no man. I don't care how much of I jack off first, brother.
Yeah.
Come on, don't go get no busters, BJ, like yourself. Come right if you go come. Get somebody that's liable, because the ones that you coming up with, they also got smut on them. Yeah. Come on, man. I'm a real one, and I mess with real ones. But you know what, Rick? What I really love about life, the truth always comes out. If you live long enough, the truth always comes out, because there's always somebody that's gonna tell the truth at the end, even on a cold case when you think it's over with. Sometimes people come out the door and say, hey, I got a confession. You know what I'm saying? I'm finna tell you, whoa, the real deal, Holyfield. Some people come to court and say, hey, that person that I had locked up for 35 years, let him go, because I lied on him. I truly lied. He did not rape me. I fabricated that. And this man been in prison for 40 years now, all behind a rape case. Now the female want to come 40 years later and confess that she lied on him. So you have people, brother, that do things for what? Attention. I don't need no attention. I am a real one. You are a real one. Andrew Sparks is a real one. We hung with the real ones. We know cases that right today are cold cases that people can go and get lifetime sentence off of. We was involved in them type of things. So we know when to close our mouth shut. We know how to be quiet. You would never see me and you in the courtroom. We don't go to courtrooms. You know what I'm saying? We don't do that. We don't get down like that. You'll never hear that, oh, we got a statement on OG, Triple OG Frog, and Double Barrel, we had a 25 automatic, and Reggie had a shotgun. We don't get down like that. You know what I'm saying? We ride our own beef, homie. You know what I'm saying? We had a gang of homies that probably do things behind closed doors, but brother, it always comes to the light, though. You're a man with your own spot. You've been working. How long you been out of prison now, my brother?
Almost 20 years.
Almost 20 years.
Yeah.
Almost 20 years. Okay. And you've been to, how many different prisons you been to?
Too many.
Too many. Okay. Hey, check this out, bro. I know you personally, and I love you like a brother. And in the Word of God, this is what the Word of God said about a real friendship. Because I tell this to my pastor all the time. You know what I'm saying? You have some people who friendship is closer than a brother. Closer than a brother. Some people friendship is closer than a brother. You have some people out here that show you more love than your own family member. And that's what God says in His Word. So I'm going to leave you with that, my brother. And I thank you for telling your part of history and telling your truth and let everything be known as a fact. You know what I'm saying? Because I know you're a real one and you're going to keep it real. You schooled me on something today, brother. I found out just today for the first time. There's a possibility that Rockhead can be right. But I do know one thing where he's wrong at, when he said that, welcome to Jama family. You know what I'm saying? That's garbage, homie.
Well, see,
you know what I'm saying?
that's something you can speak on because you was a part of that.
Exactly. That's garbage. That's what got my antennas up.
Yeah, all I can speak on is the rumor.
Because what he's saying don't make sense.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And that's the bottom line. So I'm going to tell my half of the story after the commercial break.